Hey, everybody. Greg, I'm your host for Louder Than a Bomb's live stream. I'm also, I think, going to be hosting live this bout. So I won't be on the live stream giving you the usual scoring updates. But in this bout, you're going to be hearing from Lincoln High, Omaha Marian, Omaha Bryan, and Omaha Central. Lincoln's coming up from the big city, or coming up from the state capital, trying to defend their title, make sure that they get a spot in the semifinals. Yeah, it's going to be a great bout. They've got they're bringing in a second place finish against when they open their season or open their bouts against Waverly, who's a really, really strong team this year. And then Central is a returning team, been with us since the beginning. Omaha Bryan is one of our, on the newer side, I believe. And then Marian is a really exciting team. I've seen some of their writing so far this year, and it's going to be really great. So be sure to tune in, pass the link along. YouTube.com/LTAPOmaha is where people can go to find that. Share the word, let people know that there's about to be some awesome stuff happening on this channel, on this stream, and they want to be a part of it. So I won't be, I don't think I will be filling you in the live chat or over the commentary mic on this bout. You'll be able to hear me from the stage giving out scores. You can follow along at home, or you can acknowledge the fact that scores are ridiculous when we're dealing with poetry and art, and just enjoy the poetry, because that's what we're here to do too. So stay tuned. We're finding our last judges. We'll be getting the bout started in probably like 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll get rolling, okay? Talk to you then.
stand in need of one more judge. So if you are not here to root for any different team for this bout, please come see me at the desk.
When it's all over, don't settle me down. My text your history, you know better than that. Start calling, start crying, come over, let's talk. I can't find you, the girl that I always had. Every night is a half bad. Text me that is not bad. It's always not here. I'm girl, and I'm a call, don't work. So they have to all the things that we call it. I'm not singing like this. It's only because of the first
We're a little late getting started, but we will be starting here in about 4 to 5 minutes.
And it fills me up, and it starts to shine, and I see it burning.
All right, everybody. Hello. This is Greg. I will actually be live streaming with you. So I know there's a healthy number of people watching from Lincoln. Hi, Lincoln folks. In this bout, I'm really excited for this bout. This is one that I've been looking forward to since the schedule was announced. Defending champs Lincoln High are going to be here. We've got Omaha Central. They've been to finals before. We've got Omaha Bryan, always a great team. And we've got Marian. And Marian is coached by two poets that don't hang out in the performance poetry scene, but man, do they tear up the page poetry scene with Rebecca Shaw, sorry, is her writing name, nom de plume, and Rebecca Shaw and Lindsay Baker, two fantastic poets from a little bit different background, and they are going to be here with Marian High School, and I've seen some of Marian's writing, and it's going to be a competitive bout. It's going to be a really exciting bout. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. We've got hosts from our intern squad. You can keep track of what they're doing. You can keep track of the interns at I think it's LTAB Great Plains, LTAB Great Plains.wordpress.com. They are doing all sorts of great stuff that you can check in on. And you can donate to support this work. We've got jars of money that people are tossing their cash into here. That supports this work, supports these artists and their ability to perform, and supports the artists that teach them and keep them soluble. So it's a really great thing to donate to. You can find all the details at ltabgreatplains.org. It's the place to be for that. And yeah, it's going to be a fantastic bout, and you should be excited. Pass the link around. youtube.com/ltabomaha. youtube.com/ltabomaha. It's going to be rad. All right, so we're going to get this bout rolling in just a little bit. Here are your hosts. I'm going to turn it over to them.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Woo! Welcome to Great Plains. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Eric.
And
We
like each other. Yes. We're your hosts tonight.
Woo! All right. Slam poetry was invented in the 1980s by Chicago poet and construction worker named Mark Smith.
So what?
In 2001, Louder Than a Bomb was created in Chicago by Kevin Cavall and Anna West.
So what?
And now we have Louder Than a Bomb, Great Plains. All right. It's the fourth year, and we worked with 35 teams across Nebraska and Iowa.
What?
Crazy.
All right, here's what's going to happen. We have 4 teams, Central, Marian, Lincoln High, and Bryan. And they've assembled between 4 and 10 poets, and these teams will each send up 5 poems in a predetermined order, and each poem will be original work, will last no longer than 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and we'll start docking points after that. And will not feature any props, costumes, or accompaniment from anyone other than the competing poets. The 5th round will feature a 4-person group piece from each team that is able to field one.
Okay, now we're going to get serious for a second. In the interest of creating the safest and most inclusive space possible, we ask that poems not contain profanity, sexually explicit or pornographic language, gratuitous violence, racial, ethnic, gender slandering, homophobic, anti-religious, ableist, or otherwise discriminatory slurs, speech, or language. That said, some of our poets may issue trigger warnings, but it's not required.
Yeah, that's some good advice. Each poem will be scored by 5 judges. Judges, let's see the scores.
Raise it, Colin.
Raise it up. 1. There they are. Thank you. And they'll be rating the poems on a scale of 0.0, which is equivalent to the first day of middle school. Yeah. To a 10.0, which is like face melting, soul crushing, and rejuvenating transcendental experiences. We'll drop the high score and the low score, and then add the 3 middle scores together. And at the end of the bout, we'll add the team scores together, and whoever has the highest number wins the bout. Judges, listen, keep your scores consistent. Don't let the audience sway you. You'll score the poem based on the merits of the poem, not based on how many people are on stage or how the audience reacts to your scores.
An audience, your job is to give as much love to the poets as you can. What does that sound like? And to sway those judges. So when they give a good score, what is that going to sound like? When they give a bad score, what about that? That's right.
All right, now before we start officially, let's turn off our cell phones. So take them out, hold them up, and then put them back down so you can see what you're doing. And turn them off, put them on silent, airplane mode, all that. And then we'll bring up our calibration poets so that the judges can have a chance to practice. And so our poets have a warm and welcoming stage to perform on. Now, start clapping for the calibration poet. His name is Jade Lee.
All right, here he is.
I definitely thought she was closer to my height. And him. Okay, as previously stated, my name is Jade Lee. I am a senior at Northwest High School. Not today. And the title of my piece is Thrift Shop 2.0. Macklemore's got the world searching through stores of donated fabrics because it's the fashion. But you see, we don't sift through what you've donated to the thrift store because it's trending. Rather because it's the only thing fending off the cold at night. And you're out throwing around dimes while quarters are coming in all at the same time. While I sit here and try to write a rhyme to make people understand that there are those of us who go home at night just to decide on a combination of two triangular angles between food, water, and heat. Because you don't get all three. And that, friends, is called poverty. And I sit here with my brother and sister and try to explain to them that we get food and water at school, and we have blankets and jackets other kids think are cool because we got them at Goodwill. And I see in their eyes that think I'm a fool. A pawn used to distract two beautiful knights from the king and queen while they go out and fuel the flames of their addiction with money that could have been used to keep the kingdom afloat. And I feel like I'm in a boat amidst the seas of infinity, and the only saving grace I can see is like plain on the horizon, and it's a beautiful island constructed by raging magma and cooling waters. But when they meet, cooling becomes boiling, and raging begins to solidify, and I just don't know how to identify what's going on in my life. And all I want is to be plucked from this, the third dimension, and placed into the fifth, where time is physical and comprehensible, and I can mold it to protect the ones that I love and keep myself from hurting the ones that I should have. And I wish the 7-year-old me could make the king and queen see just how much is at stake here. And I wish I was more for my kingdom, a bishop, a knight, a rook, but I am just a pawn. A pawn trying to protect this kingdom one move at a time, offering myself on the front lines, standing on the battlefield, watching brotherhoods end in bloodshed. And I just wish I could close my eyes and get the images out of my head. And I wish on the first star at night to just be normal. But like Mama always said, wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one gets full first. I want to live in a world where my mom and dad love each other. A world where people don't demoralize my cries for help by thinking it is fashionable to have no money. And now I'm alone in the kingdom. And it's really kind of funny. The knights have no need for a loyal pawn. The queen let the king his head whirling, and he still sold the ring. Because meth is a powerful thing. And it always had hold of the king, you see. Time after time, the game falls apart, shattering like the once whole land, framed in crystal. But she tried. And oh, she really did. But it was never enough. The love, the family, the kingdom, treasured as a temple, was never enough to keep him happy. And the queen fell, unable to keep up with the king's needs. And all at once, checkmate.
Everybody give it up for a calibration poet. Woo! All right, judges, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to score that poem. 3, 2, 1, and raise them up for me. All right, so from right to left, we got an 8, 9.3, an 8.3, 8.5, and a 6. All right, welcome our next poet from Omaha Central. Woo!
All right, this is Jenny, first poet up from Central.
Hi, I'm Jenny Freeman, and I'm a senior from Omaha Central. People are fascinated with their origins, with the countries their ancestors flourished in and the places of their births. My father is adamant that the very place you were born is the place you were from. Other people take pride in the ground they walk on, the ground they claim they came from as if they sprouted up from it like weeds they've taken over. And my father insists I come from the Mile High City, from cold breezes of Rocky Mountain air and snow that melts in days. He says I am from sunsets fading over the mountaintops and hordes of Broncos fans. But the truth, Dad, is much different. Because I'm not even from rows of corn and the good life, from soybeans or farms or the smell of horses. I'm not from a city that starts at a river and continues to grow west, or from a neighborhood across from the ice rink where 8th graders get rowdy. I am from clutter, from a house that has never been clean. I am from a 2-car garage so messy it only fits one, from an unfinished basement filled with Barbies. I am from Kansas. I am from a creek I've never tired of exploring, where I take my friends to show them peace and adventure. I am from family that isn't blood related and from neighbor kids who grow up too fast. I am from a cafe hidden in a strip mall that my parents and I eat at whenever possible, both for the food and for the conversation with a waitress who shares my name. I am from football games and classic rock blasted as loud as my little ears can handle, from the smell of cake and the twang of country coming from the radio, the sight of a perfectionist at work. I am from good stories and bright eyes, from a temper and a monthly statement of I'm so tired of all this crap. I am from sentiment. I've kept every note every friend has written to me. I'm from the overflowing box of them underneath my bed. I am from shadow boxes, a square of wood and glass hanging on my wall, separating me from grandparents I never met. I am from 3 American bulldogs inching their way into the kitchen. I am from a garage in Rocky Ford, half full of ashtrays and neon signs and half full of painting supplies, art begging to be made. I am from a man cave in Illinois that I spent every trip examining, trying to identify every animal the heads on the walls belong to, feeling the skin of a rattlesnake, reading articles about Billy the Kid plastered at the bar. I can still feel the fur at my fingertips, hear the rattle, and sometimes I look in the mirror and go back to those days, staring into dead eyes. I am from shaking hands while feet are firmly planted on stage. I'm from college degrees and divorce papers that touch every couple except my parents, yet hurt me anyway. I am from a small house that always smelled like bread and a German shepherd I could never touch. From the closest thing I had to grandparents and the Christmas tree they left up until April, until I could come see it and open the one present left underneath. So please, Dad, understand. No place on a map defines me, nor does it define you. Because I am from every place I've ever been and every person I've ever met. I am from every memory.
Alrighty, that was Jenny from Omaha Central. I used to coach that team, so I'm invested, a little bit biased in this bout. Let's see how the scores come back.
We've got a 7.5, an 8, an 8.3, an 8.7, and a 9.7. All right, keep the applause going for Marian.
Hi, I'm Gwendolyn. I am a sophomore at Marian High School. And this is my poem, To the Boy Who Made Me Feel Worthless. I am a girl. I have long hair and I love pretty things. I wear makeup and I probably spend too much time at the mall, but that doesn't mean I'm a pushover. Most people assume I'm dumb because I'm nice. And I'm so tired of being pushed to the side because my heels are higher than they should be, and I love to dress up. But I don't dress up for you, or him, or her, and I don't wear makeup so you think I'm pretty. I do it for myself. My worth is not measured by how many hearts I break or how many times my heart is the one breaking. And when I said no, I meant it. And when I said stop, you didn't listen because you thought I didn't know what I wanted. But I knew I didn't want you. And you treated my body like it was on public display, like I was some statue for you to touch and admire. But I'm not a piece of artwork up for public discussion. It is not my responsibility to pretend that I am not constantly overwhelmed with 1,000,000 different emotions, and it is not your job to ask me about it. Did anyone ask Joan of Arc if she was on her period when she went to war? No, because she had an axe and a sword, but you know what? I have armor too. It may be long skirts and flowers in my hair, but it's mine. And I will fight till my last breath if it means that my body is mine, his body is his, and her body is hers. And I don't need you to protect me. I don't need you constantly looking over my shoulder and thinking what I'm doing is not my choice. And I'm not trying to make some speech about how I am better than you because I'm not. We are equal in every way, and you need to see that. He is not better than her. She is not better than him, and they are not better than them. And it's not up to you which parts of my body are mine and which parts of my body are yours, because it's all mine and none of it is yours. Because even if I let you close to it, doesn't mean I'm giving you permission to touch it. And you need permission to touch it, to touch me. That is consent. And you didn't have it, and you said that it's my fault. That it's my fault, you couldn't control yourself, and I believed you. But that was so long ago, and I am so much better now. I don't need you to make me feel important. I may have bowed my head in submission that night when you told me that I wanted you, needed you, but not anymore, because I have armor. I can say no.
Alrighty, that was a poet from Omaha, Marian. Always bringing really strong writing, fearless stuff there.
An 8.2, an 8.8, a 9.0, and a 5.5. All right, let's give it up for our next poet from Lincoln High.
Hello, my name is Camille Hara, and I'm a junior representing Lincoln High. And this piece is titled, Stop Yelling. You told me to stop shouting, that I was ruining Christmas dinner, that I should calm down. There is nothing left in this world worth yelling about. You told me that it was a holiday, no time for talking politics, but this isn't political. This is real life. After dinner, I heard you talking about me. You said, I hope she's not difficult like this forever. You want things to be easy. You want to avoid the conflict, ignore the issues, never fight for anything. You don't need to fight. I think this is the difference between you and I. Nobody ever hated you. You never felt the shiver ringing through you the first time you realized someone wanted you dead. Sometimes I forget that we're related. The blood between us turns into the blood on the ground after a fight you get to walk away from. We have history, you and I. And I landed on the upward sloping side of it, always climbing, reaching for something better, like Sisyphus, always a step away from slipping back into my ancestors' graves. The past always trying to reach back up, not to haunt us, but to live again. You don't understand history. It is a neighborhood you drive through with your car windows rolled up, shielded by the eggshell of the present. But someone lives in those houses. How dare you tear them down, board up the windows, call this finished? We have history, you and I, and you landed on the wrong side of it. Now you look backwards and you see just how far we have come. I'm looking forward, right through you. All I see is just how far we have to go.
All right. That was Lincoln High. Their first poem of the bout. Really fearless writing, really direct and cutting. Nice energy to open the bout with. Cool stuff.
An 8.8, a 9.2, an 8, and a 9.3. All right, now we have Brian. Ugh, I can't do this. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a silly one.
I can't do it still. Oh well. I'm fine. Hi, my name is Alyssa Kennedy. I'm from Marian High School. I'm a freshman, and my poem is called Dad. Dad, the name of a figure in a child's life, a figure that symbolizes strength, hope, and love, a symbol that shows true self to only those most deserving. Dad. A hero to tiny bubbling bodies, small faces with round marble eyes, framed by the long lashes that are the beginning to every hurricane, puny hands that seem to gravitate towards the sky, in an action as if to ask, what if? Little minds filled with pure joy and love for everyone around, and maybe even a little mischief. Little feet hesitating to take a first step. Mouths forming syllables, yet never finishing what was started. Dad. A boulder of support to blood of his own. The man to pick us up when we fall. Kissing the scrapes of life and teasing out some smiles when we're down. A father should be there actively in a child's life. But some of us just weren't as blessed. Dad. Why weren't you there? You missed my first strides. You missed my poorly formed sentences of my innocence, my birthdays, my anger, my pain. You missed my face when I tasted my first kolache. The sweet of the sugary fruit just didn't quite cancel out the bitter mouthful of your growing absence. Dad, the hollow depth that filled my chest, it was only there to compensate for what I loved. You weren't there wiping away my tears. You didn't help my dreams unfold. My future is formed on the thought of providing for my own what I have never received from you. I will be present. I will give care, and I will not leave. Dad, hero to this child, but this child wanted more. This child never got that day for their hero to save them. And maybe that day will never come. Sorry. Dad, I know you acquaintedly like a stranger on the street, but what stark amount I know fuels your strength of a Magna heart. And I want to dance for you and with you, Dad, because this is what love is. And I want to spin for you, Daddy, to show you your baby girl is happy.
All righty. Some very powerful emotional writing from Omaha Bryan on that one. Let's see how the judges react to that. Who cares? It was great.
Right to left, we got an 9.0, an 8.9, an 8.6, a 9.8, and an 8. All right, welcome our next poet from Marian.
I'm a junior from Marian. And this poem is called Shakespeare Himself. Shakespeare himself. Do not tell me, for I've heard it all. And there is much to do with hate, but much more to do with love. And I was always taught that parents love their children unconditionally. They could never hate something that they created. She'd never admit it, but part of my mother has to hate me. And I think I've cried over school more times than I have when I found out that my grandfather had a heart attack. And the words, "You are not a failure," become an 86. Is that even a B? My granddad smokes cigarettes on his sun porch and tells me that school is wrong. And I believe him. And when I cried on his beloved couch and told him that I failed, he patted my head and got ash in my hair. And 3 weeks later, I ran to his house on 53rd Street and I threw open the front door and I said, "Granddad, I didn't fail my Macbeth quiz." And he said, "It doesn't matter if you did anyway." Shakespeare is something I pride myself on. In my life, I have a bounty of villains, and none of them quite compare to Richard III and his hunchback, but they happen to be simple things, like the slouch that I'll never get rid of due to my heavy backpack, and my issues with trust because my textbooks are full of lies. Shakespeare just so happens to be one of the 3 things that I'm good at, besides self-victimization and being unpleasant. I'm not an outstanding student, and I'm not a spectacular dancer, but Shakespeare is my greatest strength. Usually. But I got a D on my Othello test, and I got yelled at in the parking lot of the McDonald's. And I cried because I got yelled at, and I got yelled at because I cried. And I felt so bad for the man who walked in front of my car and saw me. How could you have gotten a 72? I don't know. I love Shakespeare. I love the murder. I love the conspiracy. Maybe I didn't do well on Othello because I wasn't focused on revenge. And maybe I did well on Julius Caesar instead because I'm used to getting stabbed in the back by people that I love.
Alrighty. That was a poet from Omaha Marian High School. Again, I promise really interesting writing in this bout, and they are delivering. All the teams are. It's great stuff.
Judges, whenever you're ready. All right. Oh, we're waiting for one more. Thank you. Okay. We have an 8. We have an 8.5. We have an 8.6. An 8.7. And a 9. All right. Keep the applause going for Lincoln High.
Hi, my name is Jack Buchanan, and I'm a freshman at Lincoln High School. And this poem is called Wu-Tang Forever. Wu-Tang Forever! Method Man for short, Mr. Meth, RZA, Jizza, Inspector Deck, Break One, ODB, and the Ghost Face Killer. No one could get him. These rappers, immortals in music, spin stories of struggle and strife, each strand a web to a wonderful world, a tattered tapestry of life experience and lessons learned the hard way. Preaching that drugs don't end you up, but in the pen are 6 feet under, that you can't not get high off your own supply, the temptation being too great to ignore. That a man shouldn't be killed because he wore a blue shirt in the wrong part of town. These rappers pushed for the betterment of all peoples by sending their message through a powerful medium, with each chapter adding on to the crazily crafted collection of songs that defined a whole generation. And it all started in third world places in our first world country. Their music sprouted up like weeds from poorly kept lawns in places like Detroit and Chicago. And they grew until they could speak to the people and tell them that the path they've chosen is one with a destructive and bloodied end. That the youth may not realize misdemeanors can turn into felonies as easily as you could flip a coin. That it only takes one night to ruin your life forever. That once you're out of prison, you never really leave. Then fake rappers say these things are admirable, but the woo stays true, telling us being on the prison bus is the last place on earth a young man should be. That graduating from projects is as important as graduating from high school. Wu-Tang made every lyric a reminder that we have a million marching men behind us to catch us if we fall. But most of all, Wu-Tang is about thundering voices and rhythmic tones, music you can have fun to. Not for some profound idea or powerful message, but it sends it anyway. That is the power of Wu-Tang Clan.
All righty. That was a poet from Lincoln High.
Judges, just a quick reminder to keep your scores consistent. Put them up in 3, 2, 1. All right, right to left. We got a 9.0, a 9.8, an 8.8. Can you put that up? 9.0 and a 7.5. All right, welcome our next poet from Omaha Bryan.
Alrighty.
Hello, my name is Adriana Townsell, and I'm a freshman at Marian High School, and my poem is called Bully. I am a moth, and the bullies are the flame, where I try to stay away, but they find me and try to kill me with their words of kindness. But then I fly, but I can never be free from their grasp and mockery. With my life, I just dangle from the cliff and wait for them to come. If I climb off the edge, they will crawl out of the cracks of the stone. Little demons, hues, red, black, and gray. When I go home, my parents ask, "How's school today?" I respond with, "It was okay." And I go to my room, turn on my music, and think of the day, and then scream with the intention of me being here and now. But then it feels like I'm a mile away from everyone, and I cry and cry until I can't cry anymore. One day, I seen stupid on my locker. It hurt to see that gleam. Then it made me think, was it me? Was it because I expressed myself with the clothing I wear and the feelings I show? And then when they walk up to me and say things like, "You're a hoe," I just sit there in silence and not say a word. Isolation, loneliness. Sometimes I feel as though I'm in a small, dark box in the corner. Small, dark, airless, a tiny crack of light. I am Pandora, and that beam of light is my hope. Everyone say you will be talked about throughout your whole life. Then you think, what did you do to deserve this punishment? And you think that they decide your fate. Well, you can change that fate, then you can live life once more without crying in silence and in your heart.
All right. Dedicated, fearless writing from Brian right there. Cool stuff from them. Let's find out how the judges like it.
3, 2, 1. We have a 7.9, an 8, a 9.1, a 9.5, and a 10. All right, keep the applause strong for Central.
Alrighty, that is a 26.6 for Brian. Central's second poet is coming up now.
Hi, my name is Tyra, and I'm a freshman at Omaha Central. And this is my poem called Hands. Hands interlock like your tree braids, baby girl. Pink nails match the outfit mommy bought you last week. Daddy bought you sweet pea lotion to make your hands as soft as pillows, but you can't sleep on these. You see, you always hated summer, because in your eyes, the sun in your hands can never find compromise. Your hands would rather hold a remote instead if it meant your complexion wouldn't get darker. Dark nights, you always preserve the magazines mommy got in the mail, so you, baby you, can put the lightest of the brightest skin colors and tear down your dark presence. You, little girl, can never find love in your melanin, but you could always find love in hers. The little girl across the street had long, beautiful brown curly hair. Her eyes matched the grass that you didn't want to walk in. Her skin was as bright as the star that you wished on every night. Her skin resembled the caramel that mommy cooked on Saturday afternoons. Your hair with thick curls was nappy. When you wore your afro to school, they told you that you looked like a runaway slave. Your eyes were as basic brown as the Hudson River. You wanted to drown in these. Your skin resembled the chocolate that you never ate. Your skin was dark. Black boys and girls told you that you will never be as good as the little girl across the street because she was the golden trophy and you were the fourth place prize. The little boy at school told you that you were too dark. You never passed the paper bag test that you assigned to yourself. You were ashamed of your family's hands, ashamed of your family's roots, how your hair held history of cotton picking fields. You always asked mommy, why wasn't daddy white? You always asked mommy, why do we have to go outside? Can you use sunscreen? You always asked mommy, why weren't you as beautiful, as golden as the little girl across the street? Mommy took your hands and painted captions that you would never forget. Mommy told you that you were indifferent, that your DNA carried pieces of the beautiful Black woman that came before you, that your hands held more history than these grounds, that your eyes were still as basic brown as the Hudson River. You wanted to swim in these. That your hair still broke 2 combs in a week, but these combs were trophies that your hands wanted to hold. Mommy told you that your hands represent the chocolate that you finally decided to try, sweet and as soft as pillows. You could finally sleep on these. Mommy told you that you were indifferent, that your hands are as dark as society, but only you, baby you, could find love in them.
Alrighty, that was Tyra from Omaha Central, their second poet in this bout.
Put him up.
Let's see how the scores come.
All right, right to left.
Really delicate, thoughtful writing. Come on.
10.0, 9.1, 9.5, and an 8. Next up, we got a poet from LHS.
Bring him up, bring him up.
I understand the struggle now. Hello. My name is Emma Craig. I'm a senior at Lincoln High School. And this poem is titled, Way to Go. Flashback 2009. All of the girls at a middle school lunch table are eating, but a little brown-haired girl on the side isn't. She's too busy inputting her food intake onto her iPod. She's trying to drop 5 pounds. A middle school girl trying to lose weight. Despite everyone trying to convince her she is beautiful, she's not listening. 3 years later, the same girl sits at her desk and debates whether or not she wants dinner. She already ate lunch today and doesn't want to push her calorie intake.
She decides on eating, but only if she doesn't tomorrow. All around her are 00 girls with their perfect bodies, but all she can see is her stomach and how her thighs touch when she walks. It doesn't matter to her that she's a straight-A student. She can bike 20 miles in under an hour, that she has the strongest serve on her volleyball team. All that matters to her is being thin. The Western society, the best in the world, doesn't care what they're doing to our girls because 95% of those with eating disorders are 12 through 15 years old. And I don't blame them either, as this societal obsession with thinness has gone too far. When women care more about their weight than their education, when we hold our dress size in shame under lock and key, when we eat the minimum to be thin but not of concern, when we would rather not eat for days if it meant dropping a few pounds. When we lose weight when we're thin, it's like some badge of honor that we should proudly wear across our chests. But even if we have aesthetic approval from others, we never hear it from ourselves, always thinking in our minds we're never good enough. Our arms are too squishy, our stomach too big, always yearning for gaping holes between our thighs, but only ever feeling them in our stomachs. I am a senior now. I may have a net of people waiting to catch me if I fall, but I won't let them help. I can't let them help. Too terrified of people knowing how bad it's really gotten. It's come to taking 6 diet pills a day to drop 5 pounds, drinking 4 cups of juice that made me feel jittery, dizzy, nauseous, eating 3 crackers to keep from fainting, needing 2 reasons to put anything in my body, one of them just to prove I'm not starving myself. When all I hear when I say I've lost weight is, way to go, but all I think in my head is weight to go, as in how much weight I must discard from my frame to feel beautiful. They say, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. It doesn't matter as long as you're thin. But it does matter that I'm intelligent, it does matter that I'm athletic, and it does matter that I should feel beautiful exactly the way I am. Patiently waiting for a time when way to go is not in reference to some number on a scale. When we realize feeling beautiful is key, but being thin is not the lock. Thank you.
All righty. Some clever and forceful riding from Lincoln High right there. See how those scores come back.
7.9, 8, an 8.6, an 8.9, and a 9.6. Central. I'm Olivia Larson from Omaha Central High School. 7th grade choir practice. Prep for the flower festival, the soprano beside me asked to borrow my lip color. 2 weeks later, she's sitting beside the boy I liked, teasingly complimenting my lips that are swelling like a pair of inflating balloons still connected to my face. Impetigo. A bacterial infection that causes 6 blisters scattered across my face like landmarks of each stupid person who asked, "Are you using lip plumper?" 5 prescription bottles for the pain, easing the sores, healing the spots, and eye drops in case I itched my eyes without washing my hands. I lost 20 pounds and grew as white as the sheets I called home for 2 weeks. But it's okay, because after clearing out the PG-13 section, my dad rented me R-rated Forensic Files. I was 14 when it struck again Christmas break. My friends dropped off cookies at the door, and I watched them go stale until finally the dog ate them. No one was surprised because they knew that I couldn't. I went back to UNMC, and my doctor asked me, "How much do you know about herpes?" I hadn't had my first kiss yet. When I did 4 months later, I had to explain I was on medication now. No one knew the politically correct term, but even random classmates knew about the sickness that quaked me like clockwork every winter. Every day I bite a pill that will attempt to fix my DNA
So the flaws in my immune system that let it slip through in the first place. There's a constant vigilance in me that I will maintain for my life. I still panic. Remember only ingesting Gatorade, taking a scarf to cover my surgical mask in public, and pouring hot water on my lips in the morning so I could open them. I've been writing this poem for years. Before I even knew how to write one, I'm scared it'll come back despite multiple doctors' assurances that the breakouts have faded and 3 years' absence. Healed or not. I'm tired of anticipating gasps and wide-eyed looks from the mostly ignorant populace's belief that there is one type of herpes and one type of person who can catch it.
All right, that was Olivia from Central. Second-year poet. Great to see the growth she's had. I hope the judges agree. But again, I'm biased. That's why I'm not judging.
9.5, a 9.3, an 8.9, an 8.7, and an 8.0. All right, give it up for our next poet from from Marian.
And I'm a senior at Marian. My poem is called Toxicity. I never realized how much other people's scars would affect me until I caught a glimpse of your forearm and you said, "Amber, you're staring." So I closed my eyes, but your scars were burned into the backs of my eyelids. "Amber, you're staring." But I couldn't look away. So I just squeezed my eyes tighter. All I wanted to say was, "Josh, you're hurting." When I saw you, I knew. Not at the very first, "Who's that cute new boy" moment, but when I took you out to dinner and you described to me how you couldn't sleep and I saw the self-disgust accumulating beneath your skin. Fast forward a few months and we're making out in your backseat. And I'm wondering if you've changed your mind, if you're glad you let me look, if you're glad you let me in, because I think I am. But then I freeze. Please stop. You glide your fingers over the scar tissue on my thighs and say, "Hey, it's okay, and these are okay too." Now I'm crying, so I squeeze my eyelids, and in my head I scream, "Josh, I'm hurting. I'm sorry that when I close my eyes, I'm staring, rewatching the rape scenes of my life. I'm sorry that you learn to express your feelings by carving roadmaps into your body, drawing as many as possible because you're unsure of which highways to follow. I'm sorry that the condescending voices of your parents are stuck echoing against your eardrums, and I'm sorry that I'm hyperventilating. But I want my lungs to remember your scent forever." But all that comes out is "I'm sorry." On the ride home, all I can think about are your hands and how awfully big they are and how awfully they fit around mine, and worrying if that's maybe symbolic for how awfully we fit together. I didn't want to believe that. I should have believed that, because 3 months later, when you picked me up for our weekly pizza date, you refrained from hugging me back. I guess you had a lot on your mind. And as you complained about how you wished we could talk more, all I could think about was when I said I wished we could talk more. 20 minutes of silent confusion, followed by 20 minutes of making out, but I didn't feel any better. I asked, "So, this is it?" And all that you said was, "I'm sorry." I stared at you on the whole ride home, and all I thought about was how awfully we fit together. Because now I have all these maps in my skin that I thought could be leading to you. But they aren't. And I guess I'm just awfully lost now.
That was Marian High School, I believe, closing out round 3. Again, personal writing from them, really cool stuff. Here's the scores.
We have a 9. We have an 8.7, an 8.2, an 8.5, and a 9. Omaha Central is next.
Hi, my name's Kelsey. I'm a senior at Omaha Central. Okay. This poem is for anyone who has ever heard the word perfection and thought it sounded like safety, thought it looked like all of your hopes, gift-wrapped, delivered, a solution to your everything. This poem is for anyone who has ever prayed to be just like someone else, as if worshiping yourself would never be enough. This poem is for anyone who has ever looked to make themselves whole but found nothing holy here. For anyone who has heard flawless, saw sacred, heard ugly, saw evil. For anyone who praised pretty like it was measured in pounds. For anyone who is tired of thinking that if they remind themselves enough what beauty is, then maybe one day they'll feel worthy of it. Tired of hearing about expectations set for them by someone else. For anyone tired of following a false religion. I wonder what would happen if we gathered a new congregation, if we sparked a revolution like fire within ourselves, if we used hands and words like torches and burned down this church, then built something better from its ashes, rearranged lumber and stained glass into something finally holy, something finally beautiful that is worthy of all of us. And I wonder what would happen if our flames spread like wildfire, if classrooms became pulpits where every child was taught to always love themselves, where every raised hand was a silent hallelujah, where boys weren't taught to be emotionless shells raised in mud and rough hands. Girls were not packaged porcelain wrapped in lace and a polite smile. What if crowded streets were revivals? Everyone reborn through the praise of others, words like river water, laughter hymnals, everyone baptized in the glowing eyes of another. What if every moment was filled with the proclamation of belief in yourself? This poem is a reminder that we are not mirrors that reflect the brilliance inside of us. If we were, we would all be walking spotlights, lighthouses for anyone trying to find themselves. This poem is a reminder that we are made of drawers. Everything we love, everything we are, tucked safely inside of us. This poem is a reminder that you are your own sacrament, your body, your blood, holy, holding something sacred inside you. You are a constant reminder of your own covenant to love yourself, even when they might not want you to. We are starting a reformation that makes perfection sacrilegious, scrawling the word ugly across walls and in textbooks, letting them know we don't want their beauty if it is defined for us. We are reading wrinkles and scars like lines of scripture. Every day we smile is the Sabbath, and we are the only ones capable of judging ourselves because we don't want to be what is expected of us anymore. This poem, this prayer is for all of us.
Thank you, Central. All right, juniors, let's see those scores. We got a 9.0, a 9.9, an 8.8, an 8.9, and a 7.5. All right, next up is a poet from Marian.
Alrighty, so that's a 26.7 for Central. Love it. Here's Marian.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm a senior at Marian High School. This is called The Stairway to Heaven. The Stairway to Heaven is not just an almost 8-minute long song by rock gods, but the haiku stairs on Oahu Island in Hawaii as well. Originally wooden during World War II, with now 3,922 steel steps leading straight up to the Pukeahiako summit. Anyone who goes up it signs a $1 million liability insurance policy. Only the most ambitious hikers and Instagrammers trek this path. To miss a step is to die. I wonder who the first person to fall down a flight of stairs was. I wonder if they got the first splinters or the world's first concussion when I am walking down the stairs at school and my hands are too full to grab onto the railing. Girls pass me because my vision is fogging, my legs are weak. I am walking slow. My biggest fear is falling down a flight of stairs. Not because I ever have, not because I think I would be pushed, not even because I think it would hurt. The most famous stairs in the world are the ones in the living room of my mother's house. The most famous fall to ever happen in my life happened on November 16th, 2007. The second most famous fall was 2 days later when I, 9 years old and not yet bitter, fell to my knees. I cried for my mother. All my life, I have heard just stories about a mother and her strawberry diet, fingers pink, insides black. So many I know she really loved you and she wishes she could be here. She's a face I've seen in a million pictures, but a face I cannot conjure in my mind. No one knows for sure what color her hair was, and I've only seen the shades between 1997 and 2000. I used to relish those stories. That last story I was told of her, they didn't mention how smart and beautiful she was, just how drunk she was and how dead she is, and that story destroyed me. So now I am destined to perpetually fall. Everyone expects me to be angry. It's not a surprise when I make bad choices. Am I expected to tumble after my mother? Make her mistakes with more integrity than she, or learn from her mistakes? I got to be exponentially different and better. I've never fallen down a flight of stairs or suffered a concussion, and I've never thought letting someone else's destiny determine my fate was a good idea. On the stairway to heaven or on my mother's stairs, what if I miss a step? What if I fall? I may. But I have got to be sure that it won't be the fall I dreaded my whole life. This whole life of mine is a free fall, and the view is spectacular. The only difference between my mother and I is that I still have time to look up and enjoy the fall.
That was a beautiful piece of writing from Marian. I got to see that poet work with Sierra DeMulder last week, or a couple weeks ago, to help develop that poem. Great stuff.
Wait, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're still missing. Okay, cool. Okay, 7.9, an 8, an 8.9, a 9, and a 10. Lincoln High, bring us home.
All right, so that was a 25.9.
He's ready.
I got it. Hi, I'm Callie McCray.
I'm Karina Hinckley,
and we are freshmen from Lincoln High School.
You know!
And
this is Reality Zoned. Callie,
Karina,
I know who I want to spend the rest of my life with. You go first. Actually, maybe it'd be better to describe. His hair rustles like the emerald leaves of a tree rooted in the heart of the earth, caressed by a gentle breeze like a lover's fingertips. It's fabulous. Ebony locks as dark as the coal that ignites his soul, but when they turn into diamonds that smolder behind his sapphire irises. They're fabulous too.
Well, my guy's hair rustles like the dancing blades of grass painted across the rolling hills of the meadow, of a yellow meadow, until you get to his eyes. The earth's melted green, gleaming green and shouting blue, they're almost hypnotic.
I'd say he's a Greek statue, but that wouldn't do him any justice. Those artists never saw true beauty, for they died long before they could see it.
Well, my guy is a Roman statue. The elements are ruthless, but nothing can tarnish his godly jawline. And he's hot. Who is it? Math class guy.
Wait, who?
Math class guy. Who's yours?
Oh, Robin, you know, Batman's partner.
Oh, from Comic Con?
The character. He can do the splits better than most girls.
That doesn't change the fact that he's not real.
He's better looking than your guy.
Well, at least my guy exists.
My love transcends the bindings of paper and ink. My heart lives within Gotham, pulsing beneath its streets and shedding blood like tears when his is spilled.
That's weird.
It's not weird.
I can actually talk to my guy.
You mean that you can get rejected?
I can run my fingertips through his leaf hair or whatever you said earlier. You gonna stroke your comic books?
Who says I don't? I don't need to worry, my heart will be broken, for he cannot raise neither words nor fists to strike it down.
Because he has neither words nor fists. My guy can love me back. We have feelsy conversations.
That was the sound of my heart breaking.
Actually, I think it might have been my phone. Hold on. Yeah, hello? Oh, hi, math class guy. Oh, no, nothing. Just at a slam bout. They're all looking at me really weird. Oh, what's that you say? Prom? Oh, tell me more.
Reality zoned.
That was Lincoln High. That was a duet that I don't know what to say about, except that I liked it a lot. Let's see what the judges thought.
We got a 9, and a 9, and a 9, and a 9, and a 7.7. All right. Well, this is the end of our 4th round. We're going to come back in a little bit for our 5th round. Just going to have a few group poems for you. But take a quick bathroom break, and we will be back. Oh, and coaches, come over here to meet Stacy. Thank you.
Alrighty, so according to my scores, which are unofficial because I don't have time penalties or content penalties, but I don't think I noticed any content penalties. We've got a Central with a 105.4. We have Marian with a 101.9, Bryan with a 53.1, and Lincoln with a 106.3. So, yeah, this is still within reach for the Central poets, definitely. And then Marian, again, bringing really unique writing. I said still in reach. I don't care about the scores. This has been a bout of amazing writing, wonderful range in these pieces, a lot of driven political work, really swaying these judges around. Yeah, just a lot of energy coming out of these poets going into this crowd. The crowd is responding really, really well. The judges, it's judging. We give scoreboards to 5 random people. That's why we say that the points are not the point. The point is the poetry, because sometimes the points are unpredictable and silly. So we don't put a lot of stock in them. We're here for the writing. And if you get mad about the judges, know that the poets are performing their work the best they can. They're connecting with the audience. I've already seen audience members hugging and high-fiving poets. That's the connection that we're about. The judges are just there to help us facilitate it. So, yeah, that's where we're at with judging, to answer some questions in the chat and some questions I'm hearing in the crowd. So, yeah, we will be back in a little bit. In the meantime, you can point your browsers or your Safari, your phone browsers over to newriters.org, newriters.org, or ltabgreatplains.org. You can find donation buttons to support this work. Everyone who's here, we encourage a $5 donation to help support the cost of bringing this programming to students, the cost of paying the teaching artists. We have great poets who go into schools and spend their time, give of their time to help these students get to this stage. So you can support that work. And yeah, it's going to be great. So I think you'll be hearing from, in this next group piece round, Brian will be back with a group piece. Then you'll be hearing as well from Marian High School, from Central, and then from Lincoln High School. I'll get the official scores and post them in the chat in a little bit. But yeah, that should be the breakdown. So I'm going to mute the mic for a little bit so we don't get copyright violations for our DJ. And I'll be back in a little bit. See you in a sec.
YouTube.com, you may have heard of it, /LTAB Omaha. Spread that around. You can also, on the same channel, see individual poems with videos put up on playlists for each school.
Yes. There are a few websites for you to check out if you're interested in more events like this one. We've got newriters.org. We've got ltabgreatplains.org. We have our intern newsletter. Which is ltabgreatplains.wordpress.com. ltabgreatplains.wordpress.com. ltabgreatplains.wordpress.com.
Check it out.
You got it. Then we have our 2 Facebooks, facebook.com/newriters and facebook.com/ltabomaha.
And then make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, and also make sure to check out poetrymenu.com. Poetrymenu.com.
Poetrymenu.com. We got a few upcoming bouts. One on March 24th at UNO. Then we got our semifinals at the Durham and Joslin Museums on April 7th and April 8th, respectively. And then team finals at the Holland Center on April 20th.
And then make sure you donate. We love it when you donate. And if you donate $5 over there in our cute little jar, you get a free LTAB or Nebraska Writers Conference NWC pen.
Woo!
We've been using them. They're so great.
Give us money. You can also buy T-shirts if you want, and LTAB drink tumblers. Those are right out in the hallway.
They insulate cold and hot beverages.
They do. If you're a student, you get a discount, which is awesome, and they have pretty intense designs. We also have old shirts too.
Yeah.
$5.
Whoa.
$5.
Only $5.
All right, and then we got to say a special thanks to Humanities Nebraska, Nebraska Arts Council, the Sherwood Foundation, the Cooper
Sorry for
Foundation,
screaming
the
only
Stewart
$5
Foundation.
into the mic.
Is it
The Whites.
the White's Family Foundation, Paul and Annette Smith, and everyone who put money into our jars.
You're all awesome.
And then
Give a cheer for our poets. You all have been so great today. I think in a minute or two, we're going to get our final round started here with some group poems.
chat amongst yourselves.
Yes.
Bye.
We'll be back.
Cool.
Okay, we're going to begin our group poems here. The order for the group poems will be Bryan, followed by Marian, followed by Central, followed by Lincoln High. So welcome to the stage our poets from Bryan. Woo!
Hello, my name is Adriana Townsend. I am a freshman.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Kennedy. I am also a freshman.
We
And we
represent Marian High School,
We were originally the Four Poeteers.
but we're missing two poets, and we know it, but who cares?
Our poem is called Monsters.
I can see it when I look in the mirror with this devilish eye staring and the other angel-like. It consumes me when I get upset.
And get into a fight.
It can kill in a blink of an eye without saying a word.
It is black all over.
And red in the eye as if it cried. It is never alone, with her hands soiled in red blood smiling, while I wrap myself in my arms, stained my clothes. She comes and goes, but then stays until I'm weak. She never shows in the face, but in the eye that I don't satisfy. Dark, evil, everywhere.
It shows itself every day.
Hiding inside the inner beauty of someone.
It wants to destroy the world.
Buildings on fire. Dead light on the filthy streets.
Red on the ground.
Smoke in the air.
Soldiers run into strange homes.
They kill
Violence,
innocent
war,
souls. Everyday monsters in the world. The evil entity of the darkness rises like a phoenix, slithering around my way as I am paralyzed by the venom.
Under goes my happiness,
Crackling in the night
as I'm caught in a web of chimes.
as it knows my name. It speaks, it tells, it lies, it strives, it is there!
I don't know where.
Survives in my soul, as always will fall. As it leaves a strain, I see suffocation and pain. The deep blue drowns me.
That was Omaha Bryan opening up the group piece round with their two-person piece. Really great. Come on.
All right, judges. 3, 2, 1. We have a 7.1. Thank you. A 7.5. An 8.9. An 8.9. And a 10. All right, keep clapping for Marian.
For Isabel, who couldn't be in the work poem because she has to work.
If my job wasn't on the line.
The weather is so nice today.
Yeah, too bad I've been stuck in here for the past 6 hours. When I go to work at Hy-Vee, I pretend I'm going out on the town. Getting paid $8 an hour to party sounds much more appealing than arguing with rich, gluten-free, by-choice soccer moms who thought that coupon didn't expire until tomorrow.
Bringing 38 items into the express lane, the small counter space resembles my patience.
My cheeser from fake smiling.
When someone with more than 12 items comes through my express lane, I don't talk to them. I just count their items in my head.
It's surprising how many people will verbally abuse a 15-year-old girl.
And it's surprising how I react to it. I'm playing a role. I'm girl number 5 who takes your money. It's not me. I'm blindly following orders.
My male manager thought these were really funny.
Beep. Beep.
Hello.
Sir, would you like paper or plastic?
I'm bisexual. Have you ever heard that one before?
No.
Well, hi, I'm Tom. Now you know the name of your first time.
Oh.
You look just like this girl in this painting.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he painted for Playboy.
Your hair says stop, but your eyes say go.
It's surprising how many people will verbally abuse a 15-year-old girl.
I'm on my feet for hours. It's not as easy as it looks. These people are shocked.
Shocked?
When I can count back change. Yup, in honest pre-calc, they teach you a little something on how to make change for a 20. But no one teaches you how to answer the questions.
Do you have a boyfriend? Do you get off soon? Where do you live?
Go talk to that angry customer. They won't yell at a cute little girl like you.
Turned into.
Hey, you have thick skin. Go talk to that angry customer.
Turned into.
Go talk to that angry customer. Flirt with him if you have to.
Dude, I'm 14.
Turned into.
No, they don't call me jailbait.
Turned into.
I'm still 16, no matter what I look like.
You're a little girl. That's why you get paid less.
Turned into.
You're a minor. That's why you get paid less.
Turned into.
You're only getting paid 30 cents less than the average male worker.
Even when I am the best?
He is better.
Even when I'm right?
He's more right.
He's so right, I'm left, right?
No, I'm not your baby.
Sweetie.
Honey.
Cutie.
Or any other nickname you call your dog.
I'm
playing a role. I hustle. I'm girl number 5 who takes your money. I'm not your baby.
And I would tell you this if my job wasn't on the line.
Dang. That was some cool stuff from Marian. Really, really powerful. Really individual writing on that. And also kudos to Brian. Had to go turn on a mic. So yeah, sorry, I had to go turn on a mic for Brian, but I really liked that duet. I liked all the creativity and vocal range and physical range and stuff. Cool stuff. And yeah, Marian, great work. That's a standout group poem from this tournament. Here's Central.
I'm Jenny. I'm Kelsey.
I'm Olivia.
I'm Lindsay, and we're from Omaha Central.
I bite my lip when I'm nervous.
Occasionally, my entire body jolts for no apparent reason.
I tap my foot even when I'm not nervous.
I avoid eye contact with people until I'm comfortable with them.
Young adult literature is where I got the most insight on what love was supposed to be like.
How he loved the way she smelled like coffee and cinnamon.
In the books, there's always a character who noticed all their lovers' oddities.
How he loved the way she flicked her hair from her shoulder.
All their quirks.
He couldn't stop staring at the crescent-shaped birthmark on her left forearm.
All the tiny things
that made them unique.
I've been in crowded rooms wondering if anyone is noticing the way that I walk with my feet turned a little bit inwards.
Admiring the way I twist my rings when I'm nervous.
Thinking about the way I sing aloud, even in mid-conversation.
Spent so long wondering if anyone loves these things about me
that I've forgotten to love them myself. And I wonder how many others think they aren't capable of loving just because they don't have these little things.
How many others are waiting for someone to tell them what to love?
How many others are waiting for that other half
to make them feel whole?
We will be the first to tell you to stop waiting.
Stop degrading.
I know you've told yourself.
Stop tapping your foot, you're being annoying.
Look him in the eyes or you'll make him feel awkward.
Laugh it off like it's a joke. Say you're cold.
If you bite your lip one more time, it'll bleed. People will think,
stop!
Admit that there are so many things to love.
I love that I take too much pride in my music taste.
I love that I play Nancy Drew computer games.
I love that I chew on my pens and pencils and nails and sweater sleeves.
I love that I speak in song lyrics and movie quotes.
I love myself.
And I don't need to be told to.
Because we are our own protagonists.
We are shooting our own arrows.
We are casting our own spells.
Wielding our own swords.
Starting our own rebellions.
We are our own heroes.
And we will save ourselves. Save our world.
But we can't save you.
You, me, all of us need to focus on loving who we are.
We are writing our own stories.
Know that you are writing yours even now.
Refuse to stop even when.
In books, in song lyrics, TV shows, and movies.
You are surrounded by an endless stream about what is great about others.
Don't let it make you question the greatness inside yourself.
Know that there are always things that make you special.
Know that there may not be someone to notice and love them.
So you must find them yourself.
Love them yourself. Love yourself the way characters love each other.
That was for incredible poets from Central. I think that's the first time I've actually heard that group piece since it was in its writing stages, but really cool. Okay.
Okay, well, we're getting that fixed. Judges, 3, 2, 1. We've got a 7.6, an 8, an 8.3, an 8.9, and an 8.9. And last, but certainly not least, Lincoln High.
Don't tap it. But no. Okay. My name is Camille Hera.
I'm Emma Craig.
I'm Melissa Bornstein.
And I'm Tiana Lewis, and we are representing Lincoln High. And this is Microaggressions.
Being prejudiced is making prejudgments based on false assumptions defined as untrue propositions. What would you say if your language was ammunition?
Do not hesitate.
I am your target practice.
We are your last-ditch effort to feel good about poorly executed sensitivity.
Microaggressions are subtly discriminatory phrases marginalized groups encounter in daily life.
Do not hesitate.
We are your target practice. They ask what languages brown people speak.
I say English.
They say, no, the foreign ones.
They tell me I am inconspicuous enough to have survived the Holocaust.
Should we apologize for others' rejection of our heritage? They ask how many children I want to have. How will I balance work and family?
It does not matter if I want children in the first place.
They ask who is the man in the relationship. Ladies and gentlemen,
we are oppressed with a binary concept of gender. Picking out a new phone with my mom. She says the black is too masculine, how the white better encapsulates my femininity. Why should gender be represented by a color?
A man tells my mom she's
pretty good for a female doctor, as if it's fine to reduce 12 years of training to any body part.
Besides her mind.
Her mind is what makes her good.
Your surprise it is attached to a woman is unwelcome.
They tell me I am very articulate.
Well-mannered.
For a black girl.
They believe people of color are inherently unintelligent.
I fight for others to take me seriously regularly.
We are assumed to be less than we should be. Remember,
people are only worth what you want them to be.
You ask if I am half gay or basically straight.
Because the word bisexual hooks in your throat.
And won't leave, yet I am the fish you can't catch. I like boys and girls and everyone else. But I don't think I like you.
Don't worry.
We are your target practice. We are being oversensitive. Too politically correct, we are being ourselves.
Or what you think we ought to be.
Microaggressions elevate uncontrollably.
From sticks and stones
to mountains and tree roots.
Embedded in the soil you want to pile on top of us.
We never asked to be buried.
No one ever does.
Don't assume I will dismiss your unreasonable justifications just because I identify with a marginalized group.
We never asked to be someone's target practice. If you say that monitoring your words is too much work,
imagine how bad we feel when people say
our identity should change.
So their words don't have to.
All right, Lincoln High. Judges, give me your score. 3, 2, 1. We got a 9, and a 10, and a 9.3, and an 8.9, and a 9. All right, let's give it up for all of the poets, everyone. And let's all come up here while we're tallying points. Every team come up here. All the poets, come on, join me. All right. We are moments away from having the scores here. Come on up, everyone. Come on up. Hopefully fit all of Lincoln High on the stage. There are a lot of you. Come on up.
We need another stage.
All right, we have the results. Eric, can I have a little drum roll?
Drum roll!
In fourth place is Brian. In third, Marian. Second place is Omaha Central. In fourth place is Lincoln High School. Everyone did an amazing job tonight. So one more round of applause for all of these talents.
All right, thank you all so much. Please don't forget that we have more docs coming up here. Give us a donation on the way out. Buy some shirts.
Oh, and then if you forgot some rings in the bathroom, they're gold. They're at the t-shirt table. Never mind, we got it figured out. So,
Thank you so much for coming.
All right, y'all. So you heard it from the stage. Lincoln High took the win in that bout. Central with a strong performance, keeping them tight until the final moments there. So that was really great to see. Marian really bringing a really strong riding. Had to go early in the bout and had some rocky judging before the judges kind of acclimated to it. But I think they really showed up well. And their group piece tied Lincoln High's group piece score, or not quite, but like surpassed Central's by a couple points. They were within 0.3 of a point of Lincoln High's group piece score because that group piece was dynamite, fire, wizard, awesome. Choose any weird word you want to apply it to that group piece as needed, like a giant sticker. You're going to want to be sending that one around, I think, as we post that. So that wraps up tonight's broadcast. We will be back here tomorrow at 5, bright and dusky at 5:30. We will be bringing you Bouts 13 and Bouts 15 from this very same room. Those have some out-of-town teams. That's why we're broadcasting those ones specifically. So at 5:30, you're going to hear Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln. You're going to hear Kent Bellows Studio, Millard South, and Omaha Northwest. And then at 7:30 from this room, you're going to hear Gretna, Lincoln East, Millard West, and Waverly. So Waverly and Millard West will be trying to follow up strong performances, as well as Gretna and Lincoln East coming in. Gretna, I think, is coming in with a second-place finish from their first bout, or they actually may have won their first bout now that I think of it. So that's a cool bout to watch at 7:30. And then at 5:30, we've got Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln, which is a newer school in the tournament, but really great stuff. Kent Bellows Studio, who I've been supervising this year, and they are doing some really creative things, especially in their group piece. Millard South is always bringing some great range of funny and personal stuff. And Omaha Northwest, with their typical energy. You saw a poet in the sacrifice spot from Northwest tonight, so you can expect something great from them tomorrow as well. They're coming back from last week, so they've had a little time, and we'll see what they've cooked up in the meantime. That's it from here. I'm Greg. I'm your host. Please donate to support it. NebraskaRiders.org is the spot. So, again, Lincoln takes the win. Central's in second, then Marian, then Bryan in fourth. But dynamite work from all poets tonight, and can't wait to see more. We'll see you tomorrow. YouTube.com/LTAB Omaha. Tell people to be here. 5:30 for the first bout, 7:30 for the second, and then everything is going to be set for semifinals. So it's coming down to the wire. All righty, we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, bye for real now. I forgot to stop the broadcast, but bye.